What's the story, guys? Today's episode is proudly sponsored by Founders Coffee, the most tasty, delectable coffee here in Las Vegas. Now, check it out. Not only do they have great coffee, the food is unbelievable. If you drop your WHH promo code when you go down there, they're going to give you 10% off anything that you purchase. How could we forget the Aussie Project? These are Australian authentic meat pies. Home delivery in the LA and Las Vegas area. Let me tell you something about this. If you want a taste of Australia, and I don't mean giving me a kiss, grab some of these Aussie meat pies. You're going to love it. Oh, I'm purposely growing my beard back for this. Baller Balm. J Baller's Beard Balm for when your beard needs to be money. And of course, today's episode is proudly fueled by...
In Ireland, the highest form of compliment in any pub is an insult. So I'm considered quite complimentary. Proper number 12, Irish whiskey.
We have got one of the best in the business on the show today. I'm really excited. I'm really pumped about this one. Ladies and gentlemen, all the way from Ireland, check this out. You may know him as the Siberian Express, the Russian Hammer. I prefer to call him the GOAT, but don't take it from me. Check this out.
I don't know what he's got. He's got it.
His arms are about a foot longer than anyone else's.
He's just got so much natural talent.
He's all types of fighters, all at once. The elbows, the kicks, the punches, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu.
The best ever, ladies and gentlemen, Artem Lobov!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast, Artem Lobov. What's up, Artem?
What's up, guys? Thank you so much for having me on the podcast again. I loved it here the last time, and I've seen you guys improved a lot since the last time, so I can't wait to get this episode down, and it's going to be unreal. I know that already.
I was actually just looking back on the past episodes, brother, and you're actually on episode 5. I believe we're at episode like 45 now or something like that. So,
Okay,
man,
thank
you so much for coming back on. So, check out the new space. What do you think, my brother? Can we get a wide shot here, Ian? Check this place out, mate.
It looks amazing. I love all the little features that you have there now. Bottle of Proper 12, of course, the UFC belt. It's brilliant.
Well,
Brilliant.
first of all,
Great
I want to introduce you to my co-host, ladies and gentlemen. He is my main man, my number one Peroni jabroni. Would you please welcome my co-host, Matthew? What's up, Matty?
What's going on? How are you this morning?
Good to see you. Thanks very much for coming on again.
Absolutely. I got my proper Irish breakfast in handy with lots of bottles of Proper 12 around, just like I like it.
Are you excited about this interview today?
Bro, I'm pumped. I'm always a little nervous, but I'm super nervous today. I don't know what it is.
Well,
I'm
because
just,
when you're interviewing the GOATs,
The
that's exactly
GOAT.
what happens.
That's
so
right.
You know what? I'm going to let you start off with this interview. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get this going right now. Matt, what do you got to say, my friend?
So, Artem, how does it feel to have all the underground fans and the true mixed martial arts fans call you the GOAT? How does that make you feel? Like, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really mind. To me, I consider myself having a good sense of humor, and having a sense of humor is essential in life. I've been in all kinds of situations in my life. Sometimes our family didn't know whether we're going to have a place to live. We didn't know whether we're going to have food on our table. And sometimes you feel really down and you can't really find the will to go on. But if you make a few little jokes, you make yourself laugh. The smile comes in, and it gives you a little bit of that energy, and it gives you enough to make the next step, and then one more, and the third, and the fourth, and before you know it, you're up and running, and before you know it, you're up and flying. So a sense of humor is extremely important in this life, and it doesn't cost anything. So I absolutely love it, and it certainly has added a lot of zeros to my paydays. Being called the GOAT, everybody knows who I am. It's a fact. I'm probably one of the few martial artists that is known across the boxing fans, the bare knuckle boxing fans, the K1 fans, the MMA fans. Everybody knows who I am. Not many martial artists can say that. So I can say that, and a lot of it is due to this little thing that the fans came up with, the GOAT, and why not? I have no problem with that at all.
And also, you've been known for the guy that just does not turn down any fights, anytime, anywhere, any fucking buddy, any promotion, anywhere. This is the why they call you
Absolutely.
that, bro. So
Absolutely,
you
and I've done it. I've done it when there was no payday, because I mean,
right.
when there is in the UFC already, even then people don't want to take their short notice fights, and
Hmm.
you offer thousands, thousands of dollars in return. So can you imagine when it's an unknown opponent but very very tough, and the offer is for 400, 500 euros? Nobody wanted to take those fights, but I was one of those guys that the matchmakers always respected and always went to. Whenever there was a tough guy and short notice and nobody wants to fight him in Europe, they always rang my number because they knew that I was going to
Damn.
take that fight. I always did, always showed up to fight. I won some, I lost some, but I always gave it my all. And I sure never been tapped. I've never quit, not in fights and never in life. So I continue to do the exact same. And this is what my fans can expect. The GOAT, the Russian Hammer, never quits, never gives up. We just keep going, and whatever happens, happens.
So
I love it.
I love that as well. So Artem,
Cheers to you, my man.
Where-
Choo choo, motherfuckers.
where does that come from, Artem? Like that mindset and that strength and that go forth attitude. Does that come from growing up in Russia, or does it come from going from Russia and then moving to Ireland and then becoming part of this extraordinary team that you were a part of? Where did that strength of moving forward and not caring, and where did that come from?
Yeah, I mean, certainly different situations in life, prepare you for that kind of thing, but it's probably a combination of everything. Of course, Russia is very important to me, and I look at Russian history a lot and all the wars that Russians have been in. I look at even the war against Germany, the Second World War. I mean, if you look about it, 30 million Russians died in that war.
Wow.
And a lot of the times, in some of the tanks, they didn't even have weapons. People would jump under the tank with the last grenade in their hand, screaming
Wow.
"Ura!" Going forward. When I see that, I'm like, how can I be afraid to fight anybody? How can I turn down any fight? How can
Wow.
I, say no to just when they want me to fight one on one against these guys? When my ancestors, did those kind of things, that inspires me a lot. And of course, being in Ireland, and feeling the Irish history as well. I mean, Irish are absolute warriors. I mean, they've been in wars their whole life. England has always tried to put them down, always tried to steal everything from them, and kill the people here, and take over the land. But they never quit. They never stopped fighting. They kept going until the very very end. And to me, I'm so proud to represent both of those nations. I carry both of those flags always
Wow.
with me.
Wow.
If you look
Wow.
after the fights, I always kiss both of my flags, and I
Wow.
raise them at exactly the same time because
Wow.
both of those nations mean the same to me. It's like my mother and my father. I love both of them absolutely. So it
Are you
probably
getting
comes from that.
Matthew is covered in goosebumps right now.
He just pans over to
I
me,
just
bro.
looked
I'm just
over
like,
and he's
holy
like
shit.
goosebumps. See, this is what I'm trying to explain to people. Like, it's not everybody that can do what these guys do. Obviously, it's in the blood. It comes from the heritage of who they are. He's talking about his ancestors, which go back thousands and thousands of years. That bloodline continues. Maybe my ancestors weren't warriors. That's why I don't have that fighting spirit as far as combat goes. This guy right here is talking about stuff that maybe a lot of you guys out there that are listening can't comprehend. And for everyone that is listening on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Spotify, this is true talk right here. We don't come onto this podcast with any kind of questions. We don't come with anything written out. We just sit down here and have a conversation. And that statement that you just made there, Artem, fuck, bro, that says a lot about who you are. As not only as a man, but as a fighter and an athlete, and probably as a father as well. Bringing up your new son, which he was just really small when we talked back in March. How's everything going with him now, mate? Does he like to watch Dad on TV?
Oh, I'm not sure about that yet. He's only a year and a half, but he's got some great mix. I mean, obviously, Ireland and Russia for me, I represent both, but he is truly Russian Irish because his mom is Irish, his dad is Russian, So he will truly represent both nations. I will make sure that he knows the history of both of these great nations, and I will make sure that he's proud to represent both of them in everything he does in life. Doesn't matter whether he'll be a fighter or whatever else he'll decide to do. He will carry both of those flags proudly.
It's so funny that all you
love
guys kind of had sons at the same time. You had your son. Paddy Houlihan had his son. Coach Kavanagh had his son.
Wow.
Connor had his son.
Yep.
Is this the new generation?
That's the new gang.
Is this the new generation of Team McGregor? Like in 15 years from now, are we going to see these guys repeating and doing what their fathers did? Because I'm telling you right now, from the statement you made before, it seems like that is going to carry over to your offspring. Do you think that's something that you'll encourage, Artem?
I mean, we're certainly building an army over here.
I love it.
All of our kids will be able to fight. I don't know whether they will pursue it as a career, but they will certainly know how to handle themselves, and they'll certainly know how to fight, and they will be absolute beasts.
So let's talk about the next subject. So you were with the French promotion Arena Fight Championship. You were making your comeback. You haven't had a mixed martial arts fight since 2018. You were all set and ready to go. Everyone was excited for the comeback. It was a one-fight deal, so I imagine that you were going to be making bank out of that. You were fighting Giles DeJornan. I can't pronounce his last name. Artem, can you give us a little bit of an inside scoop? What happened with the fight, mate?
Yeah, I mean, but this fucking COVID, it got us again. The guys I know in the Arena promotion, they tried to do whatever they could. France went on lockdown, so they had to move the event from Marseille to Belgium. But then just more and more COVID, problems, and some of the staff and some of the management, senior management in the promotion got sick as well. So they just said, look, there's just so many things are going wrong, and they had to pull the plug on it, and everything kind of fell apart. I was gutted, of course, but what can you do? This is the year that we're having, and everybody's in the same boat. Everyone is struggling, so I didn't complain too much. I just kind of took it on the chin, and that's it. What can you do? We keep working. This certainly, the training and everything will not go wasted. It's in the bank now, and to be honest with you, it's kind of allowed me to not go crazy, because normally after the fight you go crazy, because it's so much training, and then once you fight, you kind of want to get that release, and you have a few drinks and go crazy on the food. I didn't do that this time, because there was no fight, so there was no release, so I didn't feel like I earned it. I didn't feel like I deserved that, and that's a good thing, because now I get to build on top of my camp. Essentially, I'm fight ready. And now I get to train more and build on that and get even fitter, get even stronger, and truly improve. Because when you're starting camp always, it's at the start of it, it's about getting fit. So you can't really improve your technique yet, because you're getting tired. In your mind, you're still able to do everything, but your body doesn't respond the same way because you're not that fit. Whereas now when you're 100% fit and I don't have a fight, I can truly improve. I can truly build and get to the next stage, get to the next level.
Okay, so let's just clear this up for all the fans. Like when I let the information out that I was going to be interviewing you, I had probably over 200 messages from people saying, yeah, he got COVID, or yeah, he's hurt his back. Let's just clear this up. You don't have COVID and you haven't hurt your back, right?
Come on, guys. This is me you're talking about. I eat COVID for breakfast. Listen, I was born the same year as Chernobyl happened. You think I'm going to worry about COVID?
Oh, my God.
Okay.
Send this COVID to me.
Yeah.
Come get it.
So there you go. Just for all the fans that have been non-stop messaging me, Artem Lobov does not have COVID.
It was just the promotion as a whole was
Yeah.
getting too much COVID cases, and they had to move.
So
move them out.
what do you think
And
the next
listen,
step?
you're
Yeah.
talking to a guy that's never pulled out in his life. I fought with all kinds of injuries, you name it, torn ligaments, broken hands, fucking sick, whatever, you name it. I fought all kinds of ways. I never pull out. If I say I'm going to be there, I'm going to be there. If I'm not there, that means I'm dead.
Yep. So does that kind of piss you off that the fans would have those kind of thoughts about what's happening, or is it just what goes along with the business?
That's just casuals. That's casuals only. The true
Yeah.
fans know what's up. The true fans know that I'm 100% good to go. The true fans know I would never pull out and I would be there no matter what. So
Yeah.
if the fight is not happening, that means that there's something else at play, and it's nothing to do with me.
So, did you watch the Mike Tyson fight a couple of weeks ago?
Yes,
And
I
what was
have.
your
I
thoughts
have
on that?
watched
What
it.
did you think of that? It was so exciting. It was so awesome.
Yeah, that
I
was
so,
ridiculous.
It was. It was great. It was
I-
amazing. What was your thoughts,
I,
Artem?
re- I really enjoyed, seeing Mike in good health. I could see, the happiness on his face, and it felt incredible for me because obviously so much went wrong in Mike's life in the past, and his career and everything, and I felt like this was the return, that he proved everybody that no, so what? Yeah, shit happens, but if you keep pushing forward, if you don't give up, you can turn everything around, no matter how bad the situation gets. And I felt joy seeing him in there, and I felt
Ah.
motivated to see him there. Again, it was incredible. He has my full support, and if he fights again, I will be watching.
And so obviously it was a pretty exciting weekend of fights.
Mm-hmm.
The main topic, really, even though it kind of outshone the Mike Tyson fight a little bit, was is it Jake Paul or Logan Paul? Which one?
Jake Paul.
Jake Paul knocking out the NBA guy. Did you see that? And what did you think of it?
Yeah, I seen that. I mean, you can certainly see that he is a lot better prepared than his brother, Logan Paul,
Yeah.
who
He's
Mayweather
definitely
is going to
better.
box now. I mean, Logan Paul hasn't got a clue how to box. Like that guy was just, honestly, that was a joke. Whereas this Jake Paul guy, he actually seems like he has trained. Obviously he's still a beginner. He's just at the start of his boxing journey. But to me, why not?
Yeah.
If somebody doesn't like it, don't watch it. It's so
Yeah.
fucking easy. Just press the off button and that's it. It's gone.
So
But the fact that
you're for people fighting, like, for instance, these, I don't want to say YouTube celebrities because that's kind of a little bit of disrespectful. You're for these kind of mixed fights, Floyd Mayweather fighting Logan Paul. You're about that. You encourage that.
I mean, I don't see any issue with that. Like
Yeah.
I said, if you don't like it, don't watch it. I'll be honest with you. I didn't watch that fight, for example. I didn't fucking watch it. I watched the highlight. I watched when he finished the guy and all, but I didn't watch the fight. I was only interested in Mike's fight.
Yeah.
But the fact that they brought in 1.5 million pay-per-views, that means that people do want to watch that fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is more than a lot of the other cards throughout the year. So and this gives you an opportunity to shine. If you're a legit boxer, I mean, this puts the eyes on you. This shines the light on everybody. But it is up to you to make sure that you shine brightly under those lights. They put the eyes on you, and you do your job, and then people next time will tune in to watch you fight.
Yeah.
I have no issue with that. To me, anybody is allowed to do anything as long as it doesn't affect anybody else. If it doesn't cause any harm to nobody else, do whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Why should I block somebody from doing that? They had a real fight. They were of equal experience, and you know what I mean. So why not?
Yeah.
It wasn't a setup. It was a real fight. The other guy got sparked. He, as far as I know, I think he's still in that ring. But so
He's still face down on the canvas.
Oh my God, that was.
yeah. So he got to find out what it's like to be in there. Do you know what I mean? I guarantee you that guy probably will not be fighting again. He found out the hard way what it's like, and he was
that's
only
right.
in there again. It's an amateur. So now
Yeah.
imagine if he was in there against somebody that can actually fight. This gives an opportunity to casuals to actually experience what it's like to be in there. So I have no issue with that.
Do you think that every man once in his life should be put in that situation to understand the true meaning and the true brilliance and the true skill of what you guys do? Because I've never done it, but it would be something that I would love to do. Do you think that every man should try that once in his life, and does that change you as a man?
I think so. I think so because you experience very unique emotion. This is not like a fight in a nightclub, because when you fight on the street or whatever, everything happens very quickly. You get enraged, the adrenaline shoots up, and there's a fight, few seconds, and it's over. Here you have to live and sleep and train knowing that there is going to be a fight, that you're going to have to walk out in front of loads of people, and somebody's going to be in there trying to take your head off. And that person is training, and they know that they're going to fight you. And they're studying your weaknesses. They're studying your strong points. They know a lot about you, and they're getting ready for it. And that is a very, very unique emotion, a very unique feeling that you experience. And I think it's good for everybody to feel that once.
Definitely, definitely. So, Artem, how do you feel about Mike Tyson's Legend League that he's trying to bring back? Because he wants to bring back not just himself, but he's also interested in like even basketball bouts. He was talking about. He was talking
Baseball,
about
yeah,
baseball. He was talking
every-
about a lot of crazy shit. So, how do you feel about that? And who would you like to see Mike Tyson fight next?
I mean, for me, I just want to see Mike happy. You know what I mean? To me, it's
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest. The fight. I enjoyed that fight, but it wasn't as much to me about like boxing or anything. It was more. It was about something else. I don't know. It was
Yes,
about
yes,
watching
It's like a
this
yes,
legend. You know
spectacle.
what I mean?
yes.
Exactly. It was about like respect and about seeing him turn his life around. It was about that to me because even recently I've seen Holyfield call Mike Tyson out,
Right.
and I didn't really, I don't know, for some reason it didn't feel right to me. The way he was going on about, he was trying to make it like it's again competitive, like it's about being the best again, like it's about those past years like it was in the past, and to me it's not about that anymore at their stage. Let's not lie, to ourselves. This is a young man's sport. You have to be explosive, you have to be young and hungry to compete at the highest level. You know what I mean? But I don't see anything wrong with competing at the level that Mike done it at. It looked good, it looked a lot better than a lot of the young fighters. But you know I don't want to see like that nastiness. I don't want to see that kind of like competitiveness in it. I just want to see it as a respectful kind of thing done between two legends. And if they make a bit of money in the process and they tick some of the boxes they want to tick, they scratch that itch that might be inside of their heart, that fire, that flame that's back up and running again. Why not? I enjoy it for those reasons.
I love it. I absolutely love it. So, speaking of boxing, would you ever take another boxing fight? You want to get back into boxing as well, don't you?
Oh, damn right. Damn right.
Is that
I
a
want to
rhetorical
get
question,
in the
Matt?
boxing.
Asking Artem Lobov if he's going to take a fight is like
Well,
asking is like asking an Irishman if they like whiskey. Come on, man. Come on, Matt. It's the goat we're
Well,
talking to.
when
Right?
can we see him in the boxing ring?
Oh,
I
no,
want to see him spark somebody.
I want to see him in the
Is,
bare
is this, is
knuckle
this
again,
your
Matt.
first day, Matt? Is this your first day, Matt?
I told you I'm
Watch
nervous.
yourself, kid, or it's going to be your last.
There you go. The goat has spoken.
He has sparked me via Switch.
So who's this? So the bare knuckle. What's going on with that, Artem? You see yourself jumping back in because how big is that sport growing since like a year ago? What the hell?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great sport. I love the concept, shorter rounds because it adds to entertainment and it reduces brain damage, because the less you fight, the less likely it is for you to get injured. I
Yeah.
hate all these long fights. Adding fighting time, it makes it less entertaining. I guarantee you that. And also in terms of, let's say, a lot of people train boxing and they train martial arts in order, like, for self-defense. And bare knuckle is a lot closer to self-defense because this is what happens if you fight out, on the street. It's never 36 minutes of fighting. It's always just quick, explosive, boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
go home, and that's
Yeah.
what that's like. So I love that concept, but I
So-
also want to make it back. And I would love to make a boxing debut, actual boxing as well. I'd love to try my hand at boxing. If you've done the bare knuckle, why wouldn't I want to fight with pillows on my hands? You know what I mean? For more money.
Well, I mean, if you could, out of the three, boxing, MMA, and the bare knuckle boxing, if someone came and presented all three of those to you right now, which do you think you would take?
I'd say, show me that paycheck.
Show me the money.
Simple.
All right. Speaking of paychecks, speaking of numbers, and speaking of big checks, I believe there's another fight going on at the end of January, Artem. A mixed martial arts fight with one of the biggest names in the business. Do you know or have you heard anything about that, brother?
I think I've heard a few things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a
yeah.
hell of a fight as always. I mean, that's the thing. Conor, he's all about entertainment. I mean, when was Conor ever in a bad fight? When was he ever in a boring fight?
Never.
You know exactly what you're going to get when Conor is fighting. But I feel it's going to go exactly the same way it went the first time because I don't see anything else change. Poirier was always a beast. He was always an incredible fighter. He was top 5 featherweight in the world when he fought Conor. He was stopping guys left, right, and center. Had he won the fight against Conor, he was going to be fighting for the title next. But Conor was just so much better than him, and stylistically, Conor matches up really well against Poirier, and I see it going the exact same way it went the first time.
So
Me as well.
Yeah,
Me
yeah.
as well.
I mean, obviously, Connor's last fight was in January against Cowboy Cerrone. It was done and dusted in about 40 seconds. He came out explosive. Do you think that that's Connor's main strength? He comes out like a bull at a gate, and then they don't know what the hell's going on until it's over and done with.
Yeah, Conor has just he has all the strength. Honest to God, when Conor is switched on and he prepares well, he's unstoppable. That's just the fact, because I've been with Conor from the very start of his journey, and the only fights that he got a loss in were the ones that he the preparation wasn't 100%, and that's it. Anytime he was prepared, it was a walk in the park. I mean, look what he did to Eddie Alvarez. I mean, Eddie Alvarez is an absolute beast. He was a world champion. Conor goes up in weight, and look at that fight. Even though it lasted 2 rounds, at no point in the fight Conor looked in trouble. You know what I mean? He completely dominated it. When you actually break it down and see the how high level AJ Alvarez is and what Conor done in that fight. I mean, honestly, you have to take your hat off and pay your respect to Conor. It's incredible. I don't know how he does it.
You
I
could say
honestly don't know.
Yeah. You could say the same thing about the Khabib fight. Obviously Conor went in there with an injury. He won that third round. Personally, I think he won the first round as well. And did what he did injured. Even though the result wasn't what we wanted, it still showed his true
To me,
skill.
I don't even want to talk about it, what rounds he won or not. I just know that Conor was not 100% in there. He was not prepared. That was about 30% Conor in there, honestly.
Yeah.
And look, he still managed to stop all the takedowns in third round. And this was
100%.
30%. I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
100%.
if he had showed up at least 70%, 80%, he would have won that fight. If he was 100%, it would have been he would have stopped him inside the first two. I honestly
Would you like to
believe
see
that,
him run that back again, Artem? Would you like to see them run that back one more time?
I don't want to say anything now because obviously Khabib is retired, and you have to respect that. He's had a tough year. His father passed, and if he made that decision,
Yeah.
you have to respect that.
100%.
But
100%.
of course, if it was wishful thinking, that to me that's the one fight that I would love to see is Conor versus Khabib again. It was a great fight for the fans. It was a great fight for MMA community. It was a great fight to study. Yeah, I would love to see that fight again, definitely.
I mean, at the same time, he didn't relinquish that belt yet. I
Yep,
mean,
that's it.
Dana's teetering, always coming back for 30. He's not. We don't know. They're talking about GSP. They're talking about catchweights, talking about all this. But at the end of the day, he's holding on to that belt. And I'm telling you, January 23rd, after he cracks Dustin and his face hits the canvas.
Yep, that'll be it, man.
They're going to be all talks, Conor versus Khabib.
Yep.
It has to be done. It absolutely has to be done. Either that or he has to vacate the title. So,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I would love to see Khabib come back. I definitely would love to see that fight again. I don't know if he
Yeah.
will. He spoke a lot about his parents and his mother's wish. And when your mother is telling you not to go and
Yeah.
fight again, it's very hard to go against that.
Yeah.
So I don't know, whether he comes back or not. I don't know. I would love to see it definitely, but I don't know.
the only thing that keeps me in that conversation is that he didn't relinquish the title.
Yeah, well-
So it's just it's interesting how, we're hearing this on the fence, and Dana he's always in everyone's ear, oh, don't worry, Khabib's coming back, he's coming back, but the fact that he didn't relinquish the belt,
Yeah.
I mean, it
I
sparks
think-
rumors.
Yeah, but you know what? I think initially, once again, it's up to Khabib. If
Absolutely.
we have to respect, what's going on with him in his life. He's probably still mourning right now.
Give him time.
Give him some time,
Yeah.
man. You know what I mean? And then when he's
100%.
ready to come back, he'll
Yeah.
come back 100%. Give the guy some time and all respect and love and blessings to anyone that loses a parent, because I'm sure it's
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine it would be hard for him to leave. I mean, think about it. He lived nothing but MMA for the last, 30 plus years of his life. So it's not going to be very easy just to say, oh, that's it, goodbye the game. It's not so easy, because it's in you. It's in your heart. It's in your soul. It's in everything you do. This is what you know. So, I would imagine it's not going to be that easy, So I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell.
And especially when your main coach is your father.
Yeah,
I mean, my
exactly,
God,
man. You know what? I fucking love talking to you so much, Artem. I met you. I think we met back at the first Conor Dustin Poirier fight. The only Conor fights that I haven't been to is in Sweden and then in Ireland. But I've been to all of them. I think we connected back then. We connected on Twitter. Kind of became buds. And you've come around again. You were on the first 5 episodes when I first started this, and you were the biggest name that I had on. I can't tell you how much that I appreciate you coming back on again for a second time, just because it really means a lot to me and everybody here at the show. So I just wanted to let you know how, bro, you're a fucking class act, and I just really love talking to you. I want to get one more word, mate. Artem, you know how it is, brother. You've seen my crazy ass around for a minute, and it's just always really, really great to talk to you again, bud.
Likewise, my man.
I just want to say, if there's just one more thing that we could check off, bit of positivity to anyone out there that needs a little bit of a boost in life, needs a little bit of encouragement, that's suffering in the COVID right now, that's maybe not making money, that is a huge Artem Lobov fan, that literally wants to hear something from the GOAT. Is there something you could just say real quickly, Artem, to anyone that maybe need that bit of advice?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. To me, the main thing what you must not forget is you always have to keep going. You can't stop. People always talk, about motivational quotes or different motivational books. Some people pray. That's good as well. Some people do it for their kids or their loved ones. It doesn't matter what your fuel is. All of that is just fuel to actually get you going. But what actually gets the results is you doing things. So it doesn't matter what fuel you use, whether it's motivational quotes, whether it's religion, book, anything else. Use that. But don't forget, don't just use that and sit on your ass. You have to get up and go, and things will happen for you. I guarantee you that. I mean, look at me even. If you look at my record, I've got a losing record now. A lot of people said that, no chance I wasn't going to make it. But the truth of the matter is I get paid more than 90% of fighters in the world. And to me, that's success. I'm one of the few fighters that can provide for his family, that can feed my family. My partner doesn't have to work. My kid doesn't have to worry about money. I've done that for them. And it was all because I never gave up. I never quit. I kept going no matter what. People told me many times, just, do something else. I have masters in finance. A lot of the times people told me, go back to the bank. But I believed in my cause. I believed that I would be successful. I would believe that I could make a career out of this. And I kept going no matter what. And that is the main thing. Keep going no matter what.
Last time I talked to you, Artem, I was in my office upstairs at my house with no microphone, and you said to me, you got a good thing going here, Marcus. Just keep going, keep grinding, keep going. That's what you said to me, and we've done it, and we're doing it, and thanks once again for coming on the show, brother.
And it looks amazing. Good stuff.
My name is Marcus Deegan.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is my main man, Matt Perino. We've been talking to the GOAT, Artem Lobov. Woo! Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, guys.